Well, hello everyone. Good evening. It's 8 o'clock, and today it's time for our next episode of Unstoppable Women Breaking Through Personal Barriers. Today I'm going to be in conversation with Dewdrop Shaheena. I once again welcome you all to this episode 4 of this beautiful series, Unstoppable Women Breaking Through Barriers, where through this series I bring to you the stories of women who have shown courage, who have shown grit and determination in pursuing their passion, in pursuing their dreams and purpose. And these are the women who have broken through, who are breaking through their barriers in life. And these women are truly, truly unstoppable. And it is with great, great pleasure I invite our guest for today, Dewdrop Shaheena. Hi, Dewdrop. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Kiran, for this opportunity. I'm very grateful that you extended this opportunity and actually gave me the opportunity to be on your show all the way from Maldives. So I'm very grateful to be here.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to drop. I have so we were connected on LinkedIn and a couple of other platforms, and I have seen your story. I have seen your progress, your growth. I've been a part of that, yes, through all those channels, and it's really a pleasure to have you here. Dewdrop, let me take this opportunity to share with our audience a little bit about you. So Dewdrop, she's a dedicated executive coach. She's a professional trainer and accountant with a Master of Business Administration from MNU Maldives. She's the CEO of Meticulous Consultancy Pvt Ltd with over 20 years of experience in the field of accounts and business management. Now, Dewdrop Shaheena, she's passionate to inspire, uplift, and add value to the executives to lead confidently through world-class coaching, world-class training, and mentoring. She is also a certified executive and team coach by Marshall Goldsmith and was recently awarded as Asia's Best Life Coach and Leadership Trainer by Chamber of Asia Awards. Wow, that's amazing to know about you, Dewdrop. Welcome to the series once again.
Thank you. Thank you.
At this point of time, I would like to refer to one of the posts that I saw, I think a year and a half back on LinkedIn, where in that post, I read the entire thing. I still remember kind of many of those details. You opened your heart. You showed your journey. You shared your journey of where you were, all the struggles, in spite of the many struggles that you had in your life, how far you have come. And that story, that post of yours really, really inspired, and it remained in my mind. I would like to begin there, and I would really like to invite you, Dewdrop, to share how this transition into the new you happened.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm grateful that as a reader, someone out there on the social network, LinkedIn, and you read my post and got inspired. Actually, we got connected later and then we became partners in our business as well. So during this journey, like to begin with, I would take myself back to some 20 years ago. So when I was just after my school, I actually was a person who was just waking up with the sunrise, and then I was sleeping with the sunset, because that's how we were raised up. We wake up in the morning, we do certain things that are actually given us on the silver platter, whatever that is, and then we live. So at the age of 20 years, I got married. And I now have two beautiful boys, age 18 and 16. Actually, I'm very grateful to be the parent of these boys, and the struggles I had actually to go through to raise them and make them actually fruitful, worthwhile citizens of the country. That's actually where I have reached today. To actually give a detailed information about myself, I actually got married at the age of 20 years, and then what I faced was, it was little bit of I think abusive, I will say it was an abusive relationship. So I got beaten up. I was mentally abused, where I was blackmailed, and then also several things were happening. But after a while, I believed that, okay, this is my fate. I would have to live through this one, because now I have two kids. When I had the opportunity to end this relationship, I didn't end. And today, actually, I have to live through, because I can't give up on these two boys. I have these two boys and I can't give up on them. But while I was doing my diploma in 2007, somewhere in 2008, I came across a book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Actually, I was so miserable that like almost every week I will end up in the hospital. I should be given in the care, and then some injections, and because of depression, headache, I had to be given these injections, and I was on these tablets. But after reading the first chapter of this book, it was a total eye opener for me. What I learned was, whatever that happens in my life is because of my decision. Actually, so I learned to take 100% responsibility for whatever that happens in my life. I took that, as the moment that I took that ownership, I realized, okay, no one can make me miserable unless and until I give that permission to someone else. So I realized, okay, for the first instance, I got married to this person. It was my decision. It was my decision to have a kid with him. It was my decision to have a second child also with him. And then it was my decision to be with him, whatever the challenges were. So when I owned these things that happened in my life, then actually I learned, okay, I can't live here, because now it's my, I have the potential actually to bring that change to my life. If I want to raise these children as happy children, I have to actually do something for them. So that was this turning point. From that point onward, I had to like struggle for another 1.5 years actually to move out, because I was blackmailed. I was told that if you move out, that okay, you can't see the kids. That much was like the blackmail. So I had to figure out something, and then actually I was thinking, and then I couldn't actually get a solution. That time I came across another book, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living by Dale Carnegie. So this book actually, when I read the like almost half of the book, I realized there is one thing. If we want a solution to a problem, we should actually focus on the solutions, not the problem. So according to the book, I identified what are the 5 things I should do if I have to move out, and then I have to accept the worst case scenario. So my worst case scenario was to move to my parents' home, but I accepted that fact and I moved. And I was asked, I was told, once I moved, I was told that you will not be given any financial assistance. And by that time, I also had 2 broken vertebrae on my neck. So can you believe me? With 2 broken vertebrae on the neck, I was unable to sit down, lie down, and I was said that there will be no financial assistance for the kids. But I never gave up actually. I never gave up. I believe that I have to raise these 2 kids because it's my responsibility. So that's the actually whole turning point. Whatever that I am today, I am because of these 2 kids. The struggles I had to go through for these 2 kids, that's me.
That's truly heartening to know about this experience that you have had, Dewdrop. And it's equally commendable the way you have come out of that situation. I really loved the point that you mentioned that I decided to take responsibility, 100% responsibility of what was happening. So it actually takes a lot of courage to even take responsibility for the situation which is not even in your control. You chose a person, but it's not in your control to change a person. We can change yourself. I really loved that point that you brought out, and I think this is something which has to go very strongly out there for people who may be in a similar situation, or maybe in a lesser severe, or maybe in a much serious situation as yours. So taking that 100% responsibility is what is needed. I would like to also once again bring the attention of our audience to the two books that you've mentioned. How to Stop Worrying and Start Living, Dale Carnegie. Please pick that book. It's a wonderful book. You're going to get a lot of stuff towards your personal, your mindset will shift. The other book that Dewdrop mentioned is the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So please pick these two books up. And that brings me to the question, Dewdrop. It's really admirable how reading these books, how you took it upon you to read these books and bring in the changes in yourself, implement, you were not just reading them, you were actually implementing what you have read, right? That's amazing. That's amazing. So how did that work out for you? What exactly do you, if you have to share some specific example of what exact changes you made, what would they be?
You mean with the books?
Yes, your learnings from the book.
Okay,
what changes did you
so my learnings actually basically there is a saying, when you are in the actually looking for the results, there is something comes up to you that actually somehow somewhere it comes, it just peeps on your face. So I would say when I was doing the diploma in accounting, this book, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, actually it peeped through the library shelf, and I was doing the ethics module, and this book was on the ethics section. So it has actually nothing related with the ethics, actually, to business ethics, but this book was there and I got hold of it. So from there, I actually, that my transformation started. But when it comes to my education, I would like to take you even far behind to when I was like just 12-year-old, 13-year-old. I actually wanted, after my primary education, I wanted to become a scientist. So that was my fantasy, to become a scientist, and I was actually trying to do science stream. But I was forced to do business studies because after getting a 99% mark on mathematics, 96 on science, and then 94 in social studies, and a 58 in English. So this English actually made me actually it almost ruined my career. Because of this 58 in English. So I was forced to do the business studies, and then because of that, I almost gave up on my secondary education. But eventually, then also after becoming the best all-round student in my primary education, I came as the most disciplined student in the secondary education. But that actually, I wasn't actually like living. I was just swaying with the breeze because there is no purpose. I lost the purpose. But then I actually, after my accounts teacher and the economics teacher, they were very good. They motivated me. So I got some interest in accounting. And after my O level, I came to MAHRP to do the A level. But again, with my English mark, I wasn't actually enrolled on the higher secondary school. So I was rejected because I got a D in English. And then I actually started, I thought, okay, I'll do something, I'll become an accountant, and I tried to. So during this period, I was doing the diploma in accounting. I think after almost 10 years after I finished my O level, I actually enrolled myself in diploma in accounting, and then I started the journey again. So while I am doing this diploma in accounting, I had to face through these challenges, and I moved back to my island, and I wanted to study. But what happens is, because I was in the island, I didn't have any option. After diploma in accounting, the only thing I should do is degree in accounting, and this was not available in my island. So I actually applied for degree in teaching. I was rejected 1 year. The next year I applied for degree in IT. Still I was rejected. So I thought, okay, there's no way. But during this time, what happened is I came across another two great books actually. Brain Tracy's Maximum Achievement, and then Jack Canfield, The Success Principles. So these two books actually guided me, actually focused me on my current path. So what I did was, with the help of the book, I wrote down my life purpose statement, my vision, my mission, and then where do I want to be at the age of 65 years. So I very clearly wrote, every day in the morning, I will go and sit on the beach where I can hear the waves, sit in the shore, and while my kids play on the football ground or they run around, I'll be writing. I'll be actually writing my future from through my hands, and so it was very effective. So I set this goal. I wanted to do my master's degree at the age of 39 years, but I couldn't start this bachelor's program, and there is no way. So I started researching online, and then I came across this ACCA where I can join a London School of Business and Finance online, and then I study online. I brought the books, I started studying, and then I have to come to Maldives, the capital city, and then do the exam again, go back. So I started with this journey. But during this time, what happened was my second husband, actually, he said that I should study only when my younger son finishes his O level. So at the moment, he is sitting his O level. Currently, this May 1st is his first paper. So this is where I should be. After maybe June, I should be starting my studies. But after the problem with my first husband, and because of the when I hit my rock bottom, I learned that okay, education is the only one thing that someone can't take away. You can be looted. Someone can take away your children, all the money. Even someone can break all your bonds. But if you are alive, if you have this brain active, that education is the only thing that will take you to the next level. So I was fighting against him. Of course, he was very helpful, very kind, but then he couldn't agree on this. So we couldn't agree. With these disagreements, I was struggling with the studies. I was doing one paper at a time. Sometimes I failed. There was one paper I failed 3 times. And then while I was doing these things, I actually came across the through the accredited route. I actually got the chance to do the masters. So I enrolled myself to do the masters, and while I was doing my masters, I was working full time at Hitadu Port Limited as the finance manager. I was also managing my own print shop. Actually, in 2011, I started a tuition center where actually we transferred the place to a printing establishment. I was working as a full-time, actually the manager, owner of this printing establishment. Also, I was being the financial accountant of a private company, actually giving support service, and then doing auditing and few other accounting work of other small business. And I was doing all these things, managing my kids. But I was able to do, because I know this is the thing I have to do. I know what this education is, what it is for me, why is it important. So I would explain to my sons. I would say that okay, I have to study because of these reasons, and I need your support. So my parents were away, only myself and my 3 kids. My husband is usually away on he was working in army, so he wasn't at home most of the time, and I had to be with these kids. But I was managing, and actually my target was to achieve my master's at the age of 39 years. But alhamdulillah, at the age of 38 years, I graduated with the master's. But there was one thing with this master's. After finishing my master's, actually what I realized was, actually I am hanging the ladder to a wrong wall. So this ladder, my ladder is, my life is going to the wrong direction. I don't want to become an accountant, but rather my life purpose evolves with helping, empowering others. So I started the journey of coaching, and actually in 2011 also I did the life skills trainer program. But in 2018, I decided, okay, I would be fully a coach. So I actually started my journey. I had to do some sessions in Maldives. I had to travel to Sri Lanka. I had to travel to Malaysia, and then I was able to get the certification. Also, that year I got hold of this Marshall Goldsmith Executive Coaching Certification Program. So for the viewers, I want to say only one thing. If you know what you want, if you have clearly written that out and identified how you are going to achieve those things, so you have to write this step by step. It shouldn't be in this head. If it is in this head, it's just like a dream, it's just like a thought. But when you write it, put it on paper, think about it, affirm about it, visualize it, then actually it gives a different scenario. Your life can be exactly what you want. And today, Alhamdulillah, I'm currently working as the HR manager of Villa College, and we are managing about 300 staff, and I'm very proud to be part of the team while I'm also doing the coaching and training programs at the same time.
Wow, that's amazing, Dewdrop, and once again, I loved what you just said right now, to write your goals, goals which are written, that make it happen, it makes it happen. So question for people who are watching this, or maybe, watching this later, do you have your goals written down? Have a journal and write down all your goals, all your dreams, and what Dewdrop mentioned, beautifully mentioned about visualizing your goal. And I can see how, and thank you so much for sharing this, Dewdrop, with us. I can see how that it's like a movie that's running in front of you, the journey that you're sharing. And wonderful, kudos to the learning attitude, the learner's attitude that you have. Right from reading books, implementing your learnings from there, to traveling to different places to get yourself certified, and keep learning different things. And no wonder you were awarded with the best life coach award. It's Asia's best life coach and leadership award that you have received. And I kind of really want to ask you this question. So what is this award all about? What kind of impact did you create as a coach?
So when it comes to this award, I would say it did not start here today itself. Actually, when I went back to my island with these two boys, what happened was I was actually I had to be in an economy, in an environment where there is a group of gangsters, or like kids, or like their robbery, drugs, and all those things. These things are around us in our community. So it's really important for as a mom. How can I send my two boys to onto the roads? Can they go out and play, or shall I keep them inside the room? So this question actually was hitting my head hard. This 7-year-old and 5-year-old, I'm a single parent and I have to raise them. How can I do this? So what I learned out of the books I was reading, and all the I always read a lot, or I would listen to YouTube videos where other people, how did the other parents do it. So what I learned was, if I want to help my two children, I have to go and help the community. So I actually started with a tuition center. Within the 3 years, we almost had about 500 students enrolled. So I was helping these kids in the community also through an NGO. And when I want to send my kids to football, I created a football pool. So I was helping all the other kids in the community. So they, like, with the coach, so these kids got the help. So I can easily send my kids to the pool and then be with them, and I can actually be there comfortably. So that's actually to help my kids. I would quote this. Actually, necessity is the mother of invention. So that's the quote I would say. If you are in a deep troubled situation, don't think you don't have a solution. Actually, scientists are discovering things every day. So there would be things for your problem. Whatever problem you are in, there will be there will be solutions. You just have to figure things out. You don't have to invent a wheel. Someone somewhere out there must have gone through your face. So just go and read about things where people have. So what I did was, I was actually engaging with these kids. So since 2000, after my life skills trainer program, I wanted to do it at schools and then help a larger community. But because I couldn't get the certificate, the trainer didn't send the certificates to us after our training program, I couldn't do the program. So there were principals who rejected me, saying that we have certified people in the school and you don't have a certificate. So that day I actually made a promise to myself, from today onwards, I'm not going to approach a school until and unless I have a certificate. So in 2018, actually, I started getting my certificates as coaches. In 2018, I got the certificate, certified life coach certificate. So I started helping. So since then, I'm trying to actually come up with programs. It's not always about money. Rather, it's about more about my passion to help. You see, as a woman, at the age of 19, 20 years, I started with an abusive journey. If everyone, each and every one of the girls out there know that they have the potential to change, they can own whatever that happens in your life, they can make a huge difference. As women, we actually have the key power in actually contributing to the community. You see, I'm a parent. When I raise these two kids as actually worthwhile citizens, they would be contributing. So I'm the person who is raising them. Usually we will say men and women equal rights and all these things. But when I think about these things, what I realize is as women, we have the actually most huge power within our hands. Why not raise our kids as actually responsible, respectful citizens, so that they would be serving the community in a better way? So that's actually about this award. I got this award. I would like to thank actually Asia Awards and the Rula Awards for awarding me this award. Actually, my friend nominated, and I had to go through rigorous stages, and then finally I was awarded. So it's a privilege for me actually to get this award, but at the same time, I would say it's because of the impact I was able to create in these people's life whom I have touched since 2011. All those people who I have created, because it might not be sometimes running a course for them. It might sometimes be just sitting down and listening. It might sometimes be sharing a video or an audio I have listened. It might sometimes be just sharing my story and empowering someone. Just do it, go and try to figure it out. So this award is all about that, actually belief in myself, that I take 100% responsibility. I have the potential. If I want to do something, I can achieve that too. And you as a viewer, anybody can achieve that.
That's really amazing what you've said, Dewdrop. And once again, congratulations for that award. You're
Thank
talking about creating that impact,
you.
and
Yes.
clearly you have created that impact.
Mhm.
Dewdrop, you talk about giving back to the community, to the society, and doing something for them. And you've been bringing out that essence in in this conversation so far
Mhm.
as well. So, what is that legacy, Dewdrop? I really want to ask you this question. What's that legacy that you want to create, or that you are creating and want to leave behind?
So I have a life vision statement. This statement, I actually wrote this one somewhere in 2011. Since then, actually, I have been rewriting and evolving it. How actually, let's say in 2018, I realized that I was trying to become an accountant, but that, okay, this is not the right, I'm hanging my ladder to the wrong wall. So I have been actually having this vision statement. My vision statement is to be the catalyst that inspires people to discover their hidden genius. So what I'm saying is everybody has this hidden genius within them. Let's try to discover. So as my legacy is, if I met you today, if you have listened to me today, just imagine my life. I was an ordinary girl from an ordinary small island of Maldives. But you see how far I have come. It wasn't from like my parents' effort or my kids' effort or the community's effort, but rather it's just a belief that I have the potential within me. So who listens to, whoever I actually meet, I want that person to realize that, yes, I have that potential. I can do it. Whatever, it's only a decision of what do I want? You have to ask yourself, what do I really want in my life? So that is, if you can figure out that, what do I really want? definitely you can earn, achieve, and do it. And I'm the real proof of it. So that's the legacy I want to pass on.
Wonderful. That's amazing, Dewdrop. Thank you so much for sharing that with all of us. And for all of you who's there watching live or maybe watching it later, Shaina is going to share. Dewdrop is going to share a coaching model that she has developed, and it's an amazing model. And thank you so much, Shaina, for using this platform to share that with others. I'm sure people who are going to watch that, they're going to learn a lot from that model, and they can implement in their lives to bring in that change, that potential, that hidden genius that you're talking about, bringing that hidden genius out. So I'll request you, Dewdrop, to take it over now to share that model with all of us.
Okay, thank you. So let me share my screen.
Yes.
So is it visible?
Yes, one of the most favorite questions nowadays. Am I visible? Is it visible? And am I audible?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So when we are doing it virtually, I can't see that you can see me. So I have to ask that question. Yeah?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
So this is actually from the work I have, through all my readings and all the work I have done to help people. And after my certification, I actually wanted to create something that belongs to me. So I was like applying all my knowledge and experience, sharing this one, and I developed this coaching model. So this is the model I've been using with my clients, and there are 7 steps. So I called it a Dewdrop coaching model, the DEWDROP, that Dewdrop. So the first one is define. If we go through actually this one as one by one, the first one, define. So whenever you have to do something, actually to unleash yourself, you have to understand why are you on earth. Actually, you have been sent to earth for some reason. You have to figure out your reason. It might be different for me, it might be different for Kiran, and it might be different for everyone else, or it might be same, but doesn't matter. You have to understand what is your life purpose. So after understanding this life purpose statement, and if you take up a coaching program with me, you would get these questions where you actually drive your life purpose statement. And after understanding who you are, why you are here, then let's create a vision and a mission statement. So that define is all about who you are, where do you want to see in the long run, and what are the objectives, small things you have to do. So it's not enough when you have to live a successful life. You only can't just by understanding yourself, by having a vision. It's not enough. So the next part is about emotional intelligence. It's how much you know about yourself, how much emotions you can regulate, and then how much empathy you have towards other people. What are the social skills? Can you be with the community? Can you motivate yourself and other people? So the emotional intelligence, when it comes to coaching, also when we talk about depression, anxiety, whatever we talk about, actually the root cause of all these issues is the thoughts that appear on our mind. So if we know how to regulate these thoughts by our emotional intelligence, the EQ, then we would be able to actually leap to the next level. So the next level is we have to write. The right is about understanding your current reality. Let's say I want to achieve a PhD in applied psychology, let's say. But in order to go to that goal, I have to understand where am I at this point. So in order to understand that, I have to understand the current reality, what are the challenges and all those things. So I have to write these goals. When I actually started this journey, I wrote about 100 goals I want to achieve, to do's, to be's, and why those things. So I wrote 100 things I want in life, and I actually extended those goals up to my 65th birthday. So I just close my eyes, and then I actually visualize, where do I want to sit in my 65th birthday? Do I want my kids to actually come and talk to me with love and respect? Do I want my friends to come and talk to me with life and love and respect? If I want to achieve those things, today actually I have to do it. So I started by writing goals and understanding the current reality. That's the starting point. And then when we want to achieve goals, the next part is to draw a detailed action plan. So we create an action for each goal you have to written. You have to take an action plan for it. What is the current reality? Where are you standing? Let's say you have a financial goal of getting 100,000 rupiah per year. Let's say. So how much are you earning per month? What is that you have to, how much you have to grow month by month? What are the challenges you have when you want to grow it? And what are the people, who are the people who would help you? So you have to identify these key things when you want to actually achieve a goal. So that's draw stages where you detailed all these things and draw the plans. And then at the same time, you have to visualize. You just close yourself and see yourself achieving that goal. So when I did my master's program, whenever I have a challenge, I will just close myself and see myself receiving that award on the stage. I actually received that award, just I actually imagined for like couple of years. I just imagine I received that one. So you have to visualize, and also it should go with affirmations. So the affirmations are the positive things you tell about. Of course, negative things will have hit you. There will be a lot of challenges, but when you say positive things over and over again, you see when someone says, I love you, or I'm very proud that Shaheena is doing this one, you will feel very happy. So just stand in front of the mirror and say that to yourself. You don't need anyone else to say that. So that's the draw part. And then actually the fifth one is the repeated action, where you take the commitment, you become accountable, and you evaluate and adjust yourself. So in order to achieve my vision, I have realized that, okay, I'm hanging on the wrong, my ladder on the wrong wall. So I should divert it and then divert my path. So it's always okay to adjust your goals as it comes up. And the sixth one is optimize. So optimization about creating possibilities. You have several resources, let's say YouTube videos, books, and strategies out there. Go and use them. Start one by practice one by one. If you fail on one, give up and then take the next thing. So these six things, actually the six things are not enough. Whatever you want to do, you have to have the prayer part. So whether you are in the defining stage, or whether you are understanding your thoughts, or writing your goals, or drawing the detailed action plan, or doing the repeated action plans, or even optimizing the resources, you have to have these prayers. So I would like to share actually story about actually prayers. When I started, when I came across the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, the first thing that hit me was, this is an impossible thing. Even if I take responsibility, my husband was blackmailing me, and how can I actually move away with the kids? But I heard people say that prayer is the only one thing that can actually allow you to cross the river. So I started praying. I had that belief in my creator that, okay, whatever that happens, I would be able to do. So I started with that belief. So when I had that belief, I started actually praying more, asking more. And then eventually by 1.5 years, I was able to do it. And then again, during this, my MBA journey and that period where I was in my island, actually, it was a very, very difficult scenario. But then I kept on this belief that I can do this one actually, and my creator won't leave me. And in 2018, I came back again to Mal actually to live with my husband. But the challenges actually again were very severe. It wasn't like everything was okay, but then there were these problems that we can't solve. So from at a certain point, actually, I had no choice other than praying. So I actually increased my faith, and I started praying and asking for my creator's help. And I believe that there is in our actually religion, there is a word that you won't be burdened anything beyond your soul's carrying capacity. So I believed in this. And during this pandemic, I had to go through a divorce. I didn't have a job, and I had two kids by my side. The kids' dad was not helping. And then what? But I decided, okay, we actually don't have any problems, but we can't live. So I should move out. That I had to make that decision. So one day I just closed my eyes and I moved out. And of course, my husband was very kind. He helped me. Actually, in our religion, he has to pay for us for 3 months. So he paid for 3 months and he actually allowed us to move out. And so the only thing during these 3 months, what I could do was I would cry and ask for my creator's help. So during this time, actually, my health gets so severely like affected. I almost developed a thyroid. I couldn't see. My vision got so blurred that I can't see even the screen. When I actually, I had a back injury because of the earlier injury to the backbone. I had an injury, and there were days that I couldn't walk. So even I get on my motorbike, I would feel that I don't have the actually guarantee that I would reach this place. But actually, with the belief in my creator that there won't be anything that I can't carry, won't be burdened. Like I won't be burdened with anything that I can't carry. So I just moved on. Sorry. So he paid for 3 months and I didn't have a job. So I was praying, and one day I got this job. So when the fourth month came and I had to pay the rent, that our rent in Male, like it's a one-room apartment rent is $1,000. Can you imagine that level of expenses? So I didn't know what to do. But then actually this thing happened and I got the job. So on the fourth month when I had to pay the rent, I paid from my salary. So for the last 1.5 years, I think since 2019, January to 2020, September, I didn't have a job. I applied for almost 32 jobs and I got interviewed for 28 jobs. I didn't get a job. But this time I got the job and I was able to cover my expenses. And recently I met a very kind and helpful person, and I am in my third marriage. But I don't regret anything that happened in my past, because I believe whatever that happened are the things that actually made me who I am. Each phase is taken as a learning experience rather than a loss, because I learn or actually I win, but I never lose in life. So that's my mantra in life. You are muted.
Yes, sorry, I didn't realize I was on mute. Okay, so what I was saying, Dewdrop, that's amazing how beautifully you have brought out how you've used prayers to come out of that situation, and those were, it brings out all the struggle that you have gone through. You talk about I was rejected and interviewed for so many positions, and after so many attempts, I've got this. There are so many people who would look out for jobs and just 2 to 3 rejections and they feel that oh, okay, the entire world, there is nothing for me, and they give up. So I see here a person who's never given up, who's always believed that yeah, I can turn the tables around and I can do this for myself. And I love the point that you said about someone somewhere out there has done it, so you just have to bring that out and do it again. So yes, modeling people who've already done it earlier, just bring, if someone has done it, then I can do it too. That's the kind of attitude. How beautiful Dewdrop. We have almost come to the end of our conversation, and I'm sure this conversation can continue for a longer period. I would really like you to leave the audience with some of your thoughts. You've mentioned that you've read Success Principles by Jack Canfield. So how about leaving the audience with your success principles, your success mantra that you follow in your life?
So what I would say to my audience is, we always hear about the bullseye on the dartboard. So that's the target. So everyone has that bullseye, the target. You have to understand what your bullseye, my bullseye and your bullseye, Kiran, it would be totally different. But if we know that bullseye, of course, there are ways that we can hit the target. And that could be actually unleashed by actually understanding your actually inner potential, actually bringing out that power, strength, and unleashing your inner potential. You would be able to do it. So my goal, my actually final word is, whatever you want to do, actually write that down. Jot down what you want, then actually figure out what you have to do in order to achieve that. Sometimes, and a lot of times, I would say, we should actually give up on plan A and then come up with plan B's. It doesn't matter. We actually fail. Each failure is actually a learning. So don't take that failures as actually giving up point. Don't quit, but bring it back. Actually, you have to have that motivation. That motivation shouldn't be from a podcast you hear, or from what someone else say, or someone else motivate. It should be your intrinsic motivation. Always have that. You know that you want. Now let's say I want to do my PhD, but I know, okay, this is not the right time. I don't have the money. I might have, like, I want to do it by 52 years, but of course I might not be able, due to this pandemic and all those things that happened in my life, I might not be able to do it by 50. But who cares whether it's achieved at 56 years, 60 years, or 65 years, or whether I achieve it or not. As long as I am going towards that journey, I am on the right path. So unleash that potential, write those goals, and actually strive to achieve it. That's the most important thing. Never give up.
Wonderful, wonderful. Never give up. Thank you so much, Dewdrop. That's a powerful message that you are sending out there. So once again, thank you so much, Dewdrop, for taking out your time, making us a part of your life, sharing your journey with all of us, and inspiring with, there are a lot of nuggets that you have shared, a lot of one-liners that you have shared, a lot of wisdom that you have shared in today's session, today's conversation. I really, really loved this. So once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, Dewdrop, for taking out time.
Yes, I would also again thank you for having me and inspiring your audience. So whatever, even if it is one person or 1,000 people, I just want them to be different from today. After watching this one, don't give up. Don't sleep on your dreams. Actually, the cemetery is the actually huge place where there are dream killers. But live that dream and then go to the cemetery so that you know you have lived it, you have done it. No regrets before you die. So thank you very much, Kiran.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dewdrop. Okay, so that was Dewdrop, everyone. Dewdrop Shaheena, a woman of courage, a woman of power, a woman of vision. She is an unstoppable woman, and she's shared so many nuggets, so many things in this conversation that we had. And I too totally loved the Dewdrop coaching model that she shared. If you remember, just type in later. I'm going to share what Dewdrop model is. It's define, it's emotional intelligence. It's write, W for write, and then there is D for draw, and then there is R for repeated action, then there is O for optimize, and lastly, what she shared was about prayers, having that faith and belief in what you do. Such a beautiful coaching model that she shared. I'm sure when you start implementing this, you will start seeing a lot of changes in your life, a lot of changes in with respect to your goals, with respect to your dreams. So that's it for today's conversation. If you know any unstoppable women, if you know them, just I would say, just look around. Look around. If there is one unstoppable woman, maybe in your home, at your work, or in your circle of friends, in your circle of peers and colleagues. So tag that unstoppable woman on this post and tell her you are unstoppable. And let me tell you, all the women out there who are watching it, you are unstoppable. If you want me to bring someone on this show who has an impactful story of change, then please do let me know. You can type in the name in the comment and tell me, Kiran, please invite her. And I would love to have a conversation with that woman. So thank you everyone for joining in. Before I leave, another one reminder. This Friday, we have the LinkedIn Local Women India event that's happening at 6:45 p.m. India time. If you've not yet registered, please do register. I'll put in the link in the comments, and you can search for a post as well on my page, on the group, wherever you're watching this from. Register. We have something amazing planned for you, a beautiful networking activity. When you participate in that activity, irrespective of whatever you're doing, whether you're in a job, whether you're in business, you're an entrepreneur, you're an artist, educationist, or a housewife looking out for opportunities. When you join in this event on Friday, you will leave with at least 1 to 2 leads or some kind of conversions or references or information that you're looking at. So all the women in my network, please don't miss this opportunity. We are building this wonderful community, LinkedIn Local Women India. Please do join in. And as for the series Unstoppable Women Breaking Through Barriers, I will connect with you all next week, bringing you all the story of yet another unstoppable woman in episode 5. Till then, have a wonderful evening, have a wonderful night, and rest of the week, everyone. Thank you so much, and please be safe, be healthy, wear mask, and I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.